Hi, I'm Dave Jacob, the founding partner of Davalin. We're a national systems integration firm that's been an IBM Premier Partner for 20 years. We focus on helping clients integrate their various systems and solutions into their environment. We see a lot of business problems along the way, and we think that through the things that we've learned, we can help them integrate their technology. So one of the questions that I've been asked is that I see from your site that Davalin is a user of the IBM software, and I have to admit that that's not always been the case, that our director of marketing for many years complained that we were not using the technology that we basically consulted with. So I challenged her last December to put together a plan to move us into the IBM space with all of their products, that being portal and content management and social and whatnot. And like most companies, we had time to work with our customers, but not a whole lot of time to work with ourselves. So one of the things that I looked for was who could do this implementation for us. And as many people have heard, there are a lot of pieces. Sounds complicated. How fast can you do it? Is it possible to do it? Those kind of things. And so I assigned our junior developer, who had just been through the training for content management, but there already was a portal person, to do that with the director of marketing, and gave them a task to have it ready in 6 weeks for a conference that we were going to be exhibiting at. And we were able to accomplish that task in the 6 weeks. So I'm here to say that you can have an exceptional digital experience in a fairly quick time frame. So clearly in 6 weeks we could not build a robust site that did everything we wanted it to do, but we felt that we needed to get the technology engaged, learn more about it, and get it doing a couple of basic things for us. And the first thing we addressed, one was that we get a lot of questions about our services. We also have a training center. What courses do we have? Where can I enroll? All those kind of things. So we're spending a lot of time on the phone answering those questions. So part of our design was to make that information available to any customer, anytime, on any device, without having to call anyone. And the first time we get the requirement, we basically send them a link to the library section of our website, and they can do all the research they want on any courses, find what they need there. So that's one example. The next example of where we're going to really need to get smarter is how are we going to display things from our site on mobile devices like the iPhone. So again, if you just take your website and make it responsive, you still have all of this information reorganized vertically, some horizontally, so that it looks decent. But how do I find what I want on your site when I have to scan it in a small window that's maybe 3 by 5? So the next big area that we're going to have to look at for our site is analytics and search. So not search in the thing that how do I find your website, but search in the sense of when somebody comes to our site, do we direct them to the information they want and show it to them in a concise way that is interesting to them and gives them the answer to their question. So that's going to require a whole nother layer to our website. So we won't do anything with the site if you come in via a desktop or a larger browser, but for a smaller footprint, we've got to be smarter in what we present to you. And I think that'll be release 3 of the product. We're actually on release 2 right now. We've already, in the last 6 months, had a second release. So one of the challenges that we have with the site is that we have systems that do the job very effectively. They're often called legacy systems. So for us, training schedules, they don't change much. I mean, we still run the same courses and we teach the same things, but if you're going to find out about that information on a mobile device, then I need to be much more concise in how I show that to you without disrupting the systems that provide that information. So the idea is that we want to basically make the application smarter through the use of either some tool like Worklight or a tool like profiling or maybe content management, so that we have the same data available, but we display it in a much more concise way depending on the device that you're using. And we don't care which device you're using. You don't have to tell us that if you're looking on it on one device and you find it there and then you switch devices because you're running out the door and you're running away from your PC, but you want to continue the dialogue on your iPhone, we want you to be able to do that. So we want to get you right back to the same place and the same information. So we have to think a lot about how our users are using the site and defining it that way. And we don't want to replace all of those systems that work very effectively. So we talked a little bit about using search to show the right content at the right time to the right user. Well, that's a great idea. How do I get the information to do that? Where's it going to come from? How do I know what my users want to see? That leads us to another part of the exceptional digital experience, which would be being able to do the analytics on your site and finding out where people are coming to your site and where they're going. When we do technical newsletters, we actually reward our content authors based on who reads their article. Well, how do we know what that is? We have analytics so that when you come to the newsletter, we see which articles you read, which ones you skip over, where else you go on the site, how long you stay there. All of this information is available in the digital experience, and we want you to take advantage of that. So that gives you the basis of the information so that you know what changes to make in your infrastructure and your devices so that you're serving the users with the information that they request the most. One of the things that we've learned at Davalin by doing our own website using the IBM product set is when we go to conferences, customers will often say, that looks like using the IBM experience. How did you do that? Can you show me how it works? I'm interested. We've actually had customers want to buy the architecture of our website because they found it to be a good first step. One of the things that we've learned about building the site is that it's a journey, that you don't implement all of the technology initially. It's just too big a problem, we think, to tackle all at once. So you tackle the business problems that have the most value, you architect the solution for where you want to get down the road, but then you build to get a quick return, hopefully, as you implement the portal product or the content product or mobility or any of the other product sets. And then it gets much easier to go the next step because you've retrieved your investment and you can use it to go further. And we see that in our business. We don't have a choice anymore. Now that we have done this first step, our clients are demanding that we do more steps because they ask more questions about, well, when are you going to do more with social, or when are you going to do more with analytics? Or so we have to lay out the business case to say this is our plan for how we get to a more comprehensive, if you will, digital experience. I don't think you ever get to the end point. I think it continues to evolve because every time you make an enhancement, you think of 10 more things you wish you'd done. So it leads you to a more productive company, I think more profitable as well. The digital experience rings true to us. It's kind of interesting. When we started the business 20 years ago, we trademarked our vision. And our vision was, we speak business, we understand technology. Because we felt that for technology to be effective, you had to understand the business of the clients. And we've made an investment in all of our employees to not only know the technology, but also to understand the business of what they work on.